Hello students and welcome to Smartkidz tutorials. In this video, we'll learn how to find which group and period does an element belong to. This trick will be only applicable for 1 to 20 elements and not beyond that. So before we begin, we need to know a few things or points to remember. First of all, for this trick to work, you need to know the atomic number of that element, which will be from 1 to 20, any one element. Next, how the electrons fill up in the various shells. So there are 4 shells, that's K, L, M and N. Distribution of electrons in these shells. Okay, and distribution of these electrons in the shells happens as per what we have learned in class 9, as per the Bohr-Berry scheme. That is something. And as per the Bohr-Berry scheme, it says that in the first shell you will have a maximum of 2 electrons, and thereafter you can have electrons filling up in this order, that is 2n square, where n is gives you the number of the shell, which is for K it is 1, L it is 2, M it is 3, N it is 4. Okay. Also, it also says, the Bohr-Berry scheme says that the outermost shell should not have no more than 8 electrons. So this is very important. That means outermost shell electrons are also called valence electrons. The valence electrons should not be more than 8 electrons, no more than 8 electrons in the outermost shell. Okay, this applies for L, M, N. Okay, for the K shell, only 2 electrons are possible. And yes, so these are certain things you have to remember. Now the trick is such that when the valence electrons are 1 or 2, that means valence electrons, I will say. So there are in the outermost shell the electrons are either 1 or 2. Then all we need to then in this case the group will be equal to the number of electrons in the outermost shell. So if there are one electron in the outermost shell, then the group will be 1, and if the number of electrons in the outermost shell is 2, then it will be 2. So group 1 and 2. However, in this case you need to know one more thing, just in case of helium, because helium has an atomic number 2. That means it will have 2 in the K shell, and that only becomes its outermost shell. In that case, it does not belong to group 2. Because it forms a stable configuration, this shell is completely full. That is why it belongs to group number 18. Okay, it belongs to group number 18. Otherwise, the rest all will follow this trick. If the valence electrons are more than 2, that means 3, and can have a maximum of 8 electrons in the outermost, then in this case, to find the group, all you need to do is add 10 to that. So if it is, say, valence electrons are 3, so for the 3 plus 10 will be 13, so it will fall in group number 13. Similarly, in case of 4, it will be 4 plus 10 equal to 14, and if it is there are 8 electrons in the outermost shell, then it will be 8 plus 10, that is 18. Okay, and 18 is again belonging to the noble gas configuration. Okay, so these rules you need to follow. Now you must be wondering why we have added this 10 over here to get this group 13, group 14. So I'll show you why. Here is our textbook. Okay, and in this textbook, if you have a look, okay, beryllium, see the gap between beryllium and boron. Okay, here there is a gap in between, and this gap is of 10 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is what we add. So in case of lithium and beryllium, fine, this will have 1 electron in its outermost shell, this will have 2 electrons in the outermost shell. But in case of boron has got 3 electrons in its outermost shell. So for this 3, what we do is we add 10 to get group number 13. Okay, so this 10, that is the gap that is created over here which are missing, okay, or as not missing but rather how it has been designed. In that case we need to add this 10, and that is why we say that this trick is only applicable from element 1 till element 20, not thereafter, because thereafter it goes as it is normal. There are no gaps in between. So from 1 to 20 this trick will be applicable. Now when it comes to the periods, the number of periods equals to the number of shells, okay. So that we'll know as we fill up the electrons in the shells. If you filling up is happening only in the first shell, then it is period 1, okay. So now one shell means one period. If the electron filling goes to the second shell, that means 2 shells means 2 periods, 3 shells means 3 periods, and 4 shells means 4 periods. So what we'll do is we'll solve a few examples to understand how this works, and we'll check our answer over here to see if our trick is working and if we are going to get this easily. So in this way you don't have to remember anything. This is an easier way. Only thing is you need to know how to distribute the electrons. So electron distribution is something that you need to know. If you do not know how electron distribution works, then there is a video, the link to which I have put in the description box. You can check that link out, which will help you to understand how electrons fill up in various shells. So let's begin with atomic numbers. We'll begin with atomic number 1 first. So I've kept the textbook here and you can see the element in the background, and I'll be solving here. So simultaneously we can refer and cross check our answer. So here hydrogen with atomic number 1, and we'll do the filling up. So the filling up will be this way. It is fill up K shell, L shell, M shell and N shell. So since the atomic number is 1, that means this is only one electron which goes in the K shell, and so the valence electron becomes 1. That means this will belong to group number 1, okay. So group is 1, and period, since it fills up only the first shell, so the period will be 1. Have a look over here, okay. This group 1, so groups are, remember, are vertical groups. So this group number 1, group number 2, 3 and so forth, and periods are always horizontal. These are horizontal periods, okay. So atomic number 1 means group 1 and period 1, and remember period is equal to the shell. So remember period is equal to shell, and since it is in the first shell, so that's period 1. So next element is helium. Told you the helium will be atomic number 2, and in the K shell there will be 2 electrons. So this belongs to period 1 because we said period is equal to shell, so number of shells is equal to 1, so that will be 1. So it belongs to the first period, but as far as the group is concerned, it does not belong to group 2 because we said 2 means it's completely filling up this K shell, and when it is completely filled, okay, that means it's a stable configuration. It goes to the group number 18. Have a look. So this is group number 18. Next we'll take beryllium with atomic number 4. And if you fill up this A, L, M, N, so there's 2 in the first shell, 2 in the second shell. Now, as far as the group is concerned, so group will tell you there are 2 electrons in the valence shell. So which means the group should also be 2. In case of the period is equal to the number of shells, right? So it's falling in the second shell is also filling up, so that will be 2. If you check, beryllium is belonging to period 2 and is belonging to group 2 as well, okay. So lithium I have not taken, so I will take only few examples so you will get an idea about how this thing works, and the ones which I have not, which I won't be doing, you can try it out for yourself. Next we'll take carbon with atomic number 6. So you have K shell, L, M and N. So there's 2 filling up in the first shell and there are 4 electrons remaining. They fill up in the second shell. In this case the group will be, because it is more than 2, so we have to add 10. So that's 4 plus 10 equal to 14. So it belongs to group 14. And as far as the period is concerned, that is equal to the shell. So it's filling up the second shell. So saying you can have a look. Where is carbon? Carbon is over here. That's group 14 for carbon, and it's belonging to the second period. Okay, let's try another one. So we'll take neon with an atomic number 10, K, L, M, N. So the first shell 2, then there are 8 remaining, will fill up in the second shell. Now in case of neon, it is a stable configuration, which means it has to belong to group number 18, but we'll do it the usual way that we do. So group equal to valence electrons, which are 8 plus 10 equal to 18, and as far as the period is concerned, then it will be 2. Have a look. Let's have a look. So that's neon for you, okay, belonging to group 18, and yeah, neon group 18 and second period. Next example is of sodium, K, L, M, N. So 2 in the first shell, then there will be 8 in the next shell. So 2 plus 8 is 10. That is the maximum number of electrons that L shell can accommodate. Beyond that, if there are any more electrons, you have to go to fill the M shell. So there is one more electron as per the atomic number of sodium, which will go in the M shell. So now you have group which will be equal to the number of valence electrons. Valence electrons are outermost shell electrons, and these electrons come into play with respect to deciding whether they form covalent bonds or whether they form ionic bonds. So there's only one in this, and that is why it will belong to group number 1. As far as the period is concerned, once again it is equal to the number of shells. Now in this case it's filling up the third shell, so that means it belongs to the third period. So you can have a look over here. So you have sodium over here, which is belonging to group number 1, and it is belonging to the third period. Let's try another one. So we have calcium with atomic number 20. Let's fill this up, K, L, M, and N. So there's 2 filling up in the first shell, 8 filling up in the next shell. So you have 2 plus 8, 10, and then there is 10 more remaining. So 10 can fill up in the M shell, but as per the Bohr-Bury scheme, only 8 electrons have to be present in the outermost shell. So we fill up the 8 electrons, and after that it goes to fill up the N shell. So the remaining 2 electrons will come here. It's only when it reaches 8 over here that it starts filling up M once again. For more explanation on this filling up of electrons, please refer to the link given below. So this is what we get for calcium: 2, 8, 8, 2. Okay, so this adds up to 20. So now group, in this case, the number of outermost electrons is 2. That means it belongs to group 2. And as far as the period is concerned, it has got 4 shells. So that means it will belong to 4th period. So we can have a look at this, whether we are correct. Calcium is here. So that's belonging to group 2 and is belonging to the 4th period. Okay. So in this way, we can easily find out the period and the group that an element belongs to. If you liked watching this video, hit the like button. Please share it with your friends and classmates who will also benefit from the video. And if you have not subscribed to the channel so far, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and keep watching for more such videos. Thank you.